Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo. And today I'm reviewing Quantum Leap Season 2, Episode 2. It's entitled Ben and Teller, and it's coming to you from NBC streaming on Peacock. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Oh, well, Ben and Teller, Episode 2 of Quantum Leap, Season 2, is a pun, and it's, if we got a pun for a title, so we're in for a good little treat. And it sounds like it's going to be fun and funny, but this is not a funny and fun episode. This is an episode about Ben being in the body of a 70-year-old woman who works at a bank that's getting held up and by the brother of her coworker, and it looks like it's going to be a bad hostage situation. In fact, so bad that if he doesn't do something about it, according to Ian, 8 people are going to die. He's got to stop that from happening. Ziggy says so, but also the problem is that if he doesn't get everybody out in a certain amount of time, it's just it's going to go to hell. That doesn't happen. So Ben's now got to figure out how to make this hostage situation so that nobody dies. And if he doesn't, well, game over for Ben. I guess he's got to live the rest of his life in 1987 in the body of a 70-year-old woman. But we know this is Ben. He's gonna figure his way through this, and at least on this episode, he doesn't have to do it all by himself. So speaking of, that's you would think, oh man, there's a lot of drama on the on the leap itself, man. Woo, let's focus on that. Nope, that's not what this episode's really about, because the leap is for once secondary to what's actually going on outside. And what's going on outside is we finally see Addison. We didn't see her in the previous episode because they were trying to help him out, or they were trying to Ian was trying to help him, and then he leaps. And so now they've activated everybody. They've gotten Jen and Magic back together, and we find Addison. It's been 3 years. She no longer, the project isn't open, so she's doing something else. She is training, I guess, SWAT / Special Forces people, tactical people, and we also find out something else, very important, very big. It's been 3 years. She has moved on. Addison is now, as far as if she's not married, she is at the very least in a very committed relationship with a new guy. And okay, look, here's the thing. It's like, it's not any judgment. And in fact, Magic, Ian, and Jen all like the guy. He apparently is on level, really cool and everything. He knows about Ben because he's I guess got the security clearance. He knows about Ben. He knows about what happened. He knows, he's together with Addison. They seem to be in a good, committed, and healthy relationship. But then this shit comes out of left field, and suddenly Ben, who was considered dead, now he's not dead anymore. And what's she gonna do there? So but the leap is important too, right? So Ian's helping him out while they sort of marshal the forces and sort of leading him through that. And like I said, within the leap itself, of course, is not just about solving the dilemma. It's also really about repairing the relationship between the brother he's not the leader of the robbery, but he is he is doing the bidding of the guy who's a leader, who's an asshole, and he's ready to shoot somebody apparently. But the coworker, the branch manager, like the assistant manager, her brother is the one, and so they get to confront each other about who abandoned who, and he's been on the streets, and this guy helped him out and everything like that. Look, there's nothing new or special about this particular relationship that's being mended, except for the fact that the coworker realizes, oh, I have not been doing what I can. Maybe I have been pushing them away. Maybe it's time for me to stand up for them. So, as they go throughout, Ben realizes, oh, hey, the FBI, they seem to be you know, negotiating in good faith, and you know, maybe we can get out of here alive and everything. We're gonna go get a helicopter that let them go, and we'll be fine. And of course, they're double dealing. They're gonna just bust in there, and that's gonna cause everybody to die. So it leads them to having to figure out how to get out of the place, everyone out of the place, and leads to a confrontation. Well, they go to a break room and they kind of break through and let everyone out of a false wall that didn't really go anywhere, which is bad design. How you they were going to expand, now it's just an open storefront and anyone could just, you know, pop through the hole. It's like horrible. Anyway, but it leads the brother to having to make a choice of, you know, his sister or the guy, you know, his friend that was leading this robbery, and you know, he ends up killing him. And it's, you know, basically it leads to reconciliation where they're like, we're gonna, you know, I'll take the fall for you, you know, I'll say I did it out of self-defense. It's a reconciliation. I mean, it was fine. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't care too much about what was going on in the story. Just a little too, not just the mundane nature of it, because we've seen it all before. I didn't have enough time to be invested in these two characters who are having a pretty, for TV, a pretty, you know, run of the mill sort of family, you know, conflict resolution arc. So what? Because I'm more focused on like what's going on out in the real world. Addison, of course, she's just like, oh my God, Ben's back, and she's feeling all guilty and shit like that. Like, I'm cool. I want to see all that. You know, Jen and Magic and Ian are all talking to her, being like, and Ian was even like, hey, I got the imaging chamber. You want to jump in there? And she's like, you know what? You're in the middle of it. You go ahead and keep it. And I was like, mm-hmm. Ben gonna be like, why the hell this bitch don't want to come in here? So I figure that's the way he's gonna look at it. And of course he sort of does, but they're in a kind of a crisis situation, so he can't really dwell on it too much. But I was just like, why are you acting so shifty and shady? And I understand why. She's feeling like, oh man, I didn't wait 25 years for you to be gone before I remarried or whatever. I waited only a few years, and it really was only, she waited 2 years. So I mean, you can't really fault her on that one. There also is a bit of early on. It's a bit of a dust up that kind of interrupts a pivotal scene, a cliffhanging scene where Ben has to open a vault. It's because I think it's the FBI, and they come in like, you guys are in trespassing, and it's in a government facility, and we're gonna arrest all of you. And that's when, you know, Addison's her husband, man, whatever, kind of comes in and calls in a favor to the director of the FBI to kind of get the dogs off of their trail. And this sort of leads to me to believe that even though Project Quantum Leap was shuttered, probably it's going to be resurrected now that Ben is actually back, and maybe this guy's going to be in charge. And now, so there's going to be is it a love triangle? Probably it's going to be a love triangle with Addison between these two, and Ben. Eventually they resolve everything, and they resolve the whole hostage crisis and everything like that. Addison finally does go in and talks to him, and she's all awkward and not looking at him and all this other stuff. And Ben quickly realizes, like, oh, you moved on. You have somebody else now. And it's been moments for me. You know, it's just been, you know, no time. That's just my next leap. And now it's been years for you. And so now I'm the last guy. And, you know, and plus he's in the machine, so he can't really physically be there also. And I want to say I loved Raymond Lee in this moment as Ben, and really like his ability to emote in that moment was he went from hopeful to just like heartbroken and crestfallen at the same, you know, in moments. And that's just like that emoting, that acting, just, you know, perfect. Just I love it. I like Raymond Lee I've always said from the first season, I really liked him as Ben Song. I thought Ben Song's a great character. He really, you know, does a good job of showing why Ben's good. But in this moment, I saw like raw emotion like that wasn't related to the leap, was just his personal life falling apart, and he's got to keep it together. Now he's going to have to go into another leap with this realization that, you know, everything he's fighting to come back to is not there anymore. So I really liked it. I will say Caitlin, what's her name? Caitlin Bassett. Not given a ton to do here. I liked her a lot last season. Not given a ton to do here. So I feel like she was a little flat. But that's, again, I think this is because she really only has one speed in this one, which is, oh shit, you know, now I'm feeling guilty because I moved on. I didn't wait long enough. I get it. But it's not really her. It's more what she's given to work with. I think I need more of the other characters, but as Mason Park, as usual, Ian, like, I love that Ian is a lot more involved in this show than previous, you know, early on last season. So overall, really like this episode. I thought it was quite well done. Mostly because of that external non-leap stuff. I hope the next leap is a lot more interesting, but there's so much drama going on with the restart of Project Quantum Leap with Addison and Ben and, you know, the new man. So there's a ton going on there. So I'll be happy to see a lot of that outside stuff get dealt with and you know, see all the sparks that are going to fly. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think about it? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Helps to grow this channel so that more people see videos just like this one. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. I'm going to review episode 3 of Quantum Leap Season 2. Until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.